So this is the Delta 2 by EcoFlow. And it's very, very similar to its little brother, the Delta Mini. Looks very, very similar, and I actually did a video, and I'll link it up to the top right here if you want to go check that one out. But the Delta 2 is just a lot bigger, a lot better, power a lot more things. So if you don't know what these things are, pretty much they are a silent generator that just runs off of 110. Now, EcoFlow does have many other options that can power 240 appliance, but this one right here specifically powers 110. And the cool thing is you can keep it inside your house. You know, if you have a regular generator that runs off of gas, you can't keep it in your house, obviously. These things can, they're very, very quiet, and the cool thing is they run off of solar. So now that we know a little bit about what this thing is, let's see what it has to offer. So pretty much right in the front, here is the little display that you see, and then each of them have 4 different USBs. And as you can see right here, one of them says fast charge and then USB. So this is just regular charging. So if you have like a fast charger brick for your cell phone, that's pretty much what these are. And then you got your USB-C, and then this is how you turn it on, specifically this little section right here, and then your USB-C 100. So you got 2 of these. This is the power button right here. You hear the beep. You can turn it back on, and you see that. As for the display, you see that it's 24%, and then your input and your output in watts are right there, so that way you can see what's going on. As you can see, it's also connected by Wi-Fi, because on my app on my cell phone, let me pull it out real quick, you can literally see everything that I'm seeing right here on the display on my cell phone. So I got a bunch of different EcoFlow products right here, and this is the Delta 2 right here. So just click the Delta 2, and you can see all the same information I do right here. And you can see all the information right here on this. So that way you don't have to, you know, let's just say this is outside right now, and I'm working outside of my tiny house, and I don't want to see the percentage or whatever. I can just look on my cell phone, see my outputs or inputs that it has right here. And the cool thing is, on the app, you can control this whole thing. So I can turn on the AC, the DC ports, the USB C's and A's, and then on top of that, I can actually go to the settings, and you can see all the things that you can change here. So the AC charging speed, car input, so you can change. And as you can tell, it's syncing up right here. It's got a variety of different types of settings. You got your timeouts and everything right here. You also got firmware update, which I have to do. New version. This is all free. So let's do that. And upgrading right now. And while this thing is downloading the latest firmware update, let's go over more about the features it offers. So as you can see on the side here, it has a little outlet, and as you can tell, it says extra battery port. The Delta Mini doesn't have this. The Delta 2 does. And pretty much what that means is you can connect another one of these batteries to up your kilowatt hours from 1 to 3. It literally looks identical to the Delta 2, but just without this entire interface. Here's a photo of what that looks like. As you can see, it's literally just, it looks identical to this battery, but has nothing on the front face. So I believe it's a little bit cheaper too, but you can't just go buy that extra battery and run everything as this would. So you need both of them combined. So that would connect through a cord similar to this, and then you would connect both of them, which is pretty cool. So that pops in right here. And then on the back, you got everything else you need. So you got your 110 outlets. You got 6 of them right here. 2 of them has grounding port, which is very nice. And again, that's how you turn this section on right here. Then charge this thing. You got multiple ways of charging. So you got your solar input. Then you want super fast charging. You just plug this cord in right here. And then it's just a wall outlet. So literally plug this thing in right here, and it is charging the wall. Let it update for a little bit.
Yes. Doing edit.
I think it dripped, actually. Let's see. Yep, it's all good. Just need to refresh or something. So, as you see right now, it is doing 559 watts of input, which at 24%, it's going to take 1 hour. Pretty cool. So that's how you would charge it, one way of charging it, at least. Then, you can also charge it through this DC port as well. And that's also how you charge it. Plug it in like this. There's a DC plug-in that you can stick in here and then charge it through solar as well. As you saw how fast this thing can charge through the wall, it's pretty much you can charge from 0 to 80% within like 50 minutes. And then the last 10% I've noticed, because I used to have a Tesla, it is like a trickle charge. So it's going to be a lot slower than from like 0 to 80%. I don't know the details about that, but pretty much that's what's happening. And also one of the cool things that I actually built to be able to work remotely is one of these Pelican cases. So it pretty much has everything that I need to power in this house instead of it stringing all over the place. So 2 bike batteries for my juice bike. It has my electric chainsaw and then my Black & Decker power tool. And then also camera batteries that I'm using right now, and my Leica. It's just all Velcroed right here, and then plugged into this extension cord. So all you gotta do, if you want to, plug it into this, plug it in here, boom. As you can see, it already turned on because it's already plugged in. And then boom, 47 watts of output. So now it's charging absolutely everything. Are my batteries, power tools, batteries, everything. And also the cool thing is about this Delta 2 is it can pretty much power 90% of everything in this 240 square foot tiny house. Now the only thing that I can't power is my 240 appliances, which is my 2 burner top stove, and then also 240 water heater. So them are the only 240 appliances that are on the tiny house, and obviously there's no plug-in, direct plug-in. But like I said, EcoFlow also offers the Delta Pro, which I'm about to get here very shortly, to power this whole entire tiny house, and that will power 240 appliances as well as absolutely everything that you would need. So let's get to what this thing can do. Let's see what it can power. Pretty much, I like to start off with my biggest, which is my microwave, and then my air fryer / oven. So I think these things are like 1800 watts. Let's plug this in. So this, like I said, this end right here, 2 of these ports have grounds, which is nice. So you can just plug it in, turn it on, and for this one, we will get out my app so that way you can see it, as obviously you can't see the screen. We're gonna turn this thing on 450 degrees and then just stay on. So let's see, output is 1.53 kilowatt, as you see right here. And do you hear that thing? It's kicking on because it's using so much power. As of right now, it's 21%. It says it's going to last 6 minutes. So I've had this thing up to like 100%. It can do almost like 20 to 30 minutes, which is really cool if you have it on the full charge. But yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what it's telling me, all the data right here, like I said, on the app. So 1.50 kilowatts. I don't know what that converts out to be in watts, but it says 1500 watts. So that should be pretty obvious. 1.5 kilowatts, 1500 watts. Learn something new every day. So there you go. And the cool thing is, if I want to shut this off without being anywhere near it, like I said, I could do this and just tap a button, it completely shut off. So that was 1500 watts. Let's see what my microwave does. Well, my microwave cord is a little too jammed up in there, so let's just not do that. Let's move along on to a pretty beefy power consumer, and let's run my HeatStorm electric heaters that I very rarely use. So this is my backup electric heater from Heatstorm. They're pretty sure at this high speed it's like 1800 watts. I got 3 of them. Got one in my loft area, and then also in the front room, and then in the bathroom. So let's check out what this thing can do. Actually, I think I'm bringing it over to the one down here. So let's see, get this out of my way. And here's the other one right here. So we're going to plug it in just like normal, turn it on, and turn this on. We're going to do it on high. So now that it is on high, let's bring out the app and see what's going on. So we are pulling 1.2 kilowatts. So that is 4 minutes of lifetime at 9%, as you can see, and 1 kilowatt right now, so about 1,000 watts it's pulling, which is pretty cool to see. So there it is. Can definitely power the heater in case of an emergency, which is also awesome to know. Obviously this thing is at 7%, so it's on its last leg. Let's shut it off by the app, and there we go. Another cool thing that I found out this thing can power is my full PC setup. Now, as you guys know, I do logos and websites full time, and I love it. This is also where I edit all my photos and some of my videos. So this can actually power this whole station. I believe this is only about 300 watts, so it should have no difficulty to do so. So let's try it out. Let's first shut off the PC so nothing bad happens. And then I got it all wired up underneath here. So let's drag this thing over here and let's plug it in. Look, so this whole thing is plugged in by one cord. So let's plug it in like this. Turn it on. As you can see, nothing's running. So let's turn the PC on. Boom. Asus. And it's pulling 30, so 27 watts so far, but it'll bump up right when the PC actually turns on. Oh, it was actually shutting down. There we go. Now it's on. There we go. 124. I believe it gets up to 300 watts. I'm not sure. So 155. Wait until the monitors kick on. Monitors kicked on. Let's actually turn the PC on. Type the password in. We're at 211. 206. Yeah, so about 200 watts. And I've done this at 100%, which is really cool to see. When I had that thing at 100%, it was able to power that whole entire PC setup for 7 hours, which is pretty ideal. I mean, that's pretty much like how long I'm pretty much on the computer already throughout the day anyways. So in case of an emergency, your power goes out and you still need to work, this Delta 2 can pretty much power everything. And as you can see, that was just a surge. So it's actually 146 watts, but it's only pulling, which is awesome. So this thing's a killer machine. The Delta Mini was one of my favorites beforehand until I got my hands on the Delta 2. And knowing that I can actually stack batteries is another game changer. I could make this thing even more powerful than it already is. So now we know what it can power, we know the features, and we know one way of charging. Let's bring out my 400 watt solar panel, the biggest solar panel that EcoFlow has to offer, which is right here. When I bring it outside, it's pretty sunny out here, so it'd be a good time to test what this thing can do. It's at 6% since we already pretty much drained the battery. So let's go check it out and see what we can do. And by the way, bear with me on the wind out there. I live out in the middle, pretty much of a cornfield, out in the middle of no man's land. And it's a little bit windy out there. So I apologize for this, but let's bring it out and see what we can do. And so these things fold like this. Then it can also fit into this little briefcase. Now, that's not little, but pretty big briefcase that they supplied me. So pretty much this is 400 watts, so 100 a piece. combined into one, which is pretty heavy duty and very powerful. So let's connect this bad boy up. Pretty much it comes with these MC4 connectors right here, and then EcoFlow also supplies these connectors. This is actually going to go in the back of the EcoFlow, and those MC4 connectors are going to connect just like that. So that's pretty much what it looks like. Obviously, you want it tilting towards the sun as much as you possibly can at the perfect angle, depending on what your state is or where you are in the world. So that's pretty much it. It'll be completely charged in about 3 hours, it says. So it was at 7%. Now it's already up at 8%, and we're pulling in still a consistent 300 watts. So pretty cool. All right, now that I've showed you pretty much everything that this Delta 2 has to offer, what are my initial final thoughts on this thing? I have no complaints. This thing has, I believe, 3,500 cycles, which if you do the math here, let's just do a cycle a day. 3,500 divided by 365, that's 9.5 years. And also the cool thing is you get a 5-year warranty with these Delta or any type of EcoFlow products besides the solar, I believe. I don't know what the solar is, but don't quote me on that. So what is my final thoughts on this Delta 2? Well, to be honest with you, I don't think you could go wrong if you're in the market for one of these portable power stations. Like I said, the Delta Mini was one of my favorites, but now it's for sure the Delta 2. The way that these things are made are very, very well made. I mean, they're not super cheap. I have other portable power stations. This thing is just such a beefy, strong system. Like, it's not made out of any cheap parts or anything like that. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It can pretty much power everything, as you can see, in my house on a 120 volt system. It powered my heat storm, powered my electric oven. It can also power my microwave, but we weren't able to get to that. And my computer. So if you're going on a camping trip, or if you're going outside, power your power tools on a remote location, this thing can do it. So with that said, I give it my stamp of approval for sure. Living off-grid or in a 240 square foot tiny house. Until I get my Delta Pros, which are going to be very, very shortly, I'll do another review being able to power this whole entire 240 square foot tiny house, where I'll be able to disconnect completely from the grid. So that'll be one of my next few videos. So until then, I will see you guys later. See you later.